The guy in the middle says, break! So at that point, what you're supposed to do is shake hands and say, oh, thank you. So I go to shake her hand, and she kicks me in the face. And that's what they used on the commercial. In slow motion, like this. Get kicked in the face, the sweat goes like Rocky. And that's it. That's my on-screen career. Yay! Got kicked in the face. But it's just different. So I haven't pursued that. I mean, it would be cool to be something like that. But at this point, I'm just going to keep pursuing the voice acting. Yeah.
Did you kind of, well up, get a little emotional when looking at the final product for Tales of Grace's F, when Asbel finds out that his father has died when Shiria came to visit him?
During recording of that, I definitely remember getting a little misty. It's tough sometimes when you're really trying to get into character, but on the other side of the glass, people are just having fun and laughing and making jokes. But when I record, I really try to pull myself into the emotion that the character is feeling at the time. So sometimes it's tough. And I remember a couple scenes in Tales that were a little rough. But yeah, it sounds great, so it's worth it. In the back, Princess.
How did you get into voice acting, and what do you recommend, if someone's trying to get into that?
Sure. So if you ask this to any voice actor, they'll all give you different answers. There's not one way to get into voice acting. For me, my dad was a voice actor. I was about 8 years old, and I went to work with him. He was working on Power Rangers, and at the end of his session, the director was like, we need a kid's voice, and my dad's like, he's a kid, throw him in the booth! And I became a voice actor. So getting into the industry is very difficult. It's extremely competitive. I always tell people to be realistic about it. For me, I watched how difficult it was for my dad, and he was extremely talented and extremely lucky when it came to his work. He was very busy all the time, but he still sort of struggled. So I told myself I wasn't going to do that, and I still maintain another business outside of voice acting. I do web design, build websites for a number of different companies and people and all sorts of things like that. So I know I have a secondary source of income if voice acting doesn't go well. So I always tell people to have that backup plan, even before trying to get into it. As far as getting into the industry, putting together a good voice demo is probably a good step one. That's going to be like your business card as a voice actor. You use that voice demo to try to get an agent. Now that agent is going to get you auditions. It's kind of a catch-22 though, because an agent wants to see a resume, but to get jobs you need the agent, so it's kind of tough. So I say get as much experience as you can, whether it's practicing on your own. I like to prank call people, talk to your dogs, that works great. Whatever you can do to practice, so if you do get an audition, you're ready when you step in the booth. But you ask someone else, they'll tell you something totally different. Yeah?
Could you do Kirito's?
Kirito's voice?
No, like scream.
I think if I screamed like Kirito, the ceiling would collapse.
Oh.
But actually, I have work already scheduled for Monday, and those screams are so intense and really do kill my voice. So I'm gonna try not to. like Aaron screams, Kirito screams, they're throat terrors. In season 2, there's an episode where it flashes back to Kirito in Aincrad, and he has this one just nasty yell that he does as he cuts this other player in half. And when I recorded that scene, I screamed so loud that it bent the capsule on the microphone. the engineer was like, he looked at me, he's just like, I don't even know how to record this sound. He's like, my mic can pick up as loud as like an airliner taking off. So that was the intensity that, I don't know what happened, it was that pitch that just sort of hit the mic in a way that they couldn't even pick up the sound. So those screams are killers. So I'm not going to scream. Yeah.
Similar to the question that was just asked, when you're voicing Aaron as a Titan,
Yes.
when you do those growls, like, do you have something to assist you to get that effect, or do you do that all on your own?
So, for Attack on Titan, when he does like the big roars, like the rah, that's not me sounding like a banshee. I can't make my voice go like that. Like I can't do that. But I did make all those noises. I mean, they were like very long, extended, like deep, gravelly, like those kind of sounds. And then they futzed them after. But I made all of those Titan noises. Especially like the ones where he's like pulling himself forward later, like they're almost like gorilla-like. Like I'd never made noises like that before in the booth. So it was kind of cool to be able to do that. And hearing it all back, it sounds awesome. But yeah, it was me with the help of the engineers at Funimation. Yeah.
Watching the finished dub of Sword Art Online for the first time, were you kind of creeped out when you found out that when Leaf came in the picture, he found out that it was Suguha who was Kirito's cousin, Kazuto's cousin in this case, because we got to use their real names and things like that. Was it kind of a little creepy when watching?
I mean, I felt bad for Suguha. I mean, she had no chance. Everyone falls in love with Kirito.
I did.
Yeah, got him. So, it is kind of, it's pretty awkward between those two. And, I think you're just supposed to feel bad for her for, having to go through something like that. It is always strange when those kind of things happen, but you can kind of picture that happening. Like, if you were in a game totally covered by an avatar, you wouldn't know who you're really playing with. They even joke, like, in episode 1, there's the guy that, like, when it actually shows his face, they're like, I thought you were a girl! Like, that stuff happens all the time in games.
I like how they ended up playing together the rest of the game.
Yeah, and then they stay together, it's funny.
Thanks to online games, and there was a commercial I saw there was a Hot Pockets commercial where there were 3 guys who were playing a VR game.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of, is this what SAO is predicting?
That's funny. Has anyone tried the Oculus Rift? Or Oculus 1? 2?
They had a...
It is pretty awesome. I really hope that they continue to develop it to the point of SAO, short of dying in the game and dying in real life. Yeah,
GTAO.
that's going to be awesome. Yeah.
With all the
GTO what?
animation out there, is there a dream voice that you would have liked to act? Like, for instance, you like Dragon Ball Z, is there a character that you would have liked to done? And if so, can you impersonate it as best as you can?
Oh, man. I think a dream job for me would be SpongeBob. I don't have his voice down perfect yet, but I can kind of do his laugh. Something like that I would love to do.
One more time.
You ready?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Tom Kenny is an awesome actor. I really love SpongeBob. It'd be really cool to work on something like that. Cross my fingers for the future. Back there, yeah, we'll go 1, 2.
What was it like playing as Aaron Jaeger?
Playing Aaron was a dream job for me. I mentioned, I don't know if you're in the first panel, I mentioned I was a fan of the show before I even got to audition for the show. So playing Aaron was just the coolest. I've never been that angry before. Like, I was so angry that when I went home after recording, because I live in LA and everything recorded for Attack on Titan in Dallas, so I would fly home, get in my car, be in traffic, and still be angry. Like, I wanted to kill people when I was in traffic. So I'd never experienced something like that before. But, I mean, it was such an awesome experience working on that show. And because it recorded in Dallas and I lived in LA, we would record in like a marathon, like 4 days in a row, 8-hour days. So literally we'd get up in the morning, and I stayed with Mike McFarlane, the director also, and I had never done something like that before. So we'd wake up, drive to the studio, record all day, go out to dinner, go home, go to sleep. Wake up the next day, go to the studio, record all day, you know? And I was really like living in the world of Attack on Titan. It was awesome. Yeah.
Have you ever played Titanfall?
Uh-oh.
Titanfall? I haven't, but I know of Jaegers. Is that Titanfall? No, that's a different show.
Pacific Rim.
That's Pacific Rim, shoot. But Titanfall is another mech one, right? I haven't played that. Is it cool? Are there like
Titans.
mech things or?
Well, mechs are Titans that fall down from the sky, so that's why they call Titanfall.
Gotcha. I think I saw something online like where they spliced Titanfall and Attack on Titan together.
Attack on Titanfall.
There you go, Attack on Titanfall.
Stand by for Titanfall.
That's
Then play the opening theme.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Going back to Attack on Titan, how did you feel when Aaron's mother died?
Oh man.
Emotional.
So, I heard about the show from a friend, actually a producer. She's like, there's this show, and I can totally imagine you as the lead in this show. You should check it out. And I was like, you can't pick like the parts you get. Like, I'll go see what she's talking about to see, you know, what this thing's about. And episode 1 comes along. I had no idea what to expect. And when his mom dies, I was just like, no way. Like, this show is pushing the limits. I mean, not only is she like snapped in half and then eaten, but they made it rain blood on his face.
Rain blood.
Like to top things off, like, man, it intrigued me. It was just like, this show is intense, I have to watch more. I mean, it was episode 5 that I was like, I'm 100% hooked. Like, I can't stop watching.
Yeah.
But episode 1 definitely pulled me in. Yeah.
I was gonna ask if you could be inside SAO or Attack on Titan with me.
Okay. Now, hold on. I have some questions for you. 1, do I get to be my characters in those worlds?
Yes, you get to be whoever you want.
I can be Pt.2.
Yes.
Boom. Pt.2. Cheat, never die. Beat.
Beaters.
I think Kirito is about as powerful as you can get of a character. I mean, he's the best gamer in the world, and he's so far ahead of everyone else in Aincrad that it's just not fair.
Because he's a beater.
Because he's a beater. So, yeah, I mean, to be Kirito, and all the ladies love him. He has that power, too. So, I think Kirito would be the way to go. Even though it would be cool to be Eren, to be able to just, like, tighten up. That would be cool also. But I think the world of SAO is probably a little easier on Kirito than the world of Attack on Titan is on Eren. Yeah.
I.
Go 1, 2. 3DS game for Attack on Titan. It looks awesome. I wish I could be a part of it. Usually they don't dub those into English because they're seen as a niche market games.
Oh.
Like, it's a one console and it's a game that's seen, well, those type of games are seen as something that won't sell to a broad amount of people. So they usually don't dub them because it's very expensive to do that, very time consuming. But it looks awesome. Looks really awesome. Is it fun? Do you have it? You want it?
I wish it was a physical.
Yeah.
Since you know, with I don't want to make damage your voice, but like, can you describe your favorite line in SAO? Some of the more emotional or I don't know how to describe the positive side of things.
I
With
mean,
like when Kirito is calm and things like that,
I think the classic line, and I have to like make a fist